Hello.
Hello.
It's Monday again. Happy Monday, everyone. We're back for our weekly live stream. It's 6:30 EST PM, obviously, and we wouldn't be waking up that early in the morning to do a live stream unless there
No,
was
no.
an absolutely good reason,
Yeah.
a very good reason.
hmm
Yes, so today I see you can already tell on the lower left hand side of the feed that we have Extremity today that we're going to be looking at.
Yeah. I don't remember if I showed it before or not. I think I didn't.
Maybe
But
Jamie remembers. Hi, Jamie.
hi, Jamie. I
I also don't think we went
yeah.
over
I don't
Extremity.
think so. I don't think so.
Yeah.
But I was trying to make a list of all the books that I've shown here before because I don't remember. And every time before the show, I'm trying to remember what I showed and what I didn't. So I actually need to make a list. So I
hmm
asked ChatGPT to do it for me, but he couldn't do it. It couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So I tried Gemini because I thought that Gemini, because it's owned by Google, so it's the same company that owns YouTube, and it almost got it. I think it got only the two videos or three videos,
Mm.
and then it stopped. And I tried asking why did you stop or continue to the next one, but it wouldn't do that. I don't
Maybe it
know.
has a limit for how many videos it will look at or go
No, it's
through.
just probably it's a limit, but it's just I think it's a just a technical issue with Gemini.
Interesting.
Something that maybe they don't want it to overflow the like the servers
Yeah,
or
it's
something.
possible. Yeah.
But I pay them, so it's not a free account because I have Google. Mm, yeah, I think I pay Gemini separately than Google.
Oh, really?
What is it? Google like what's the Dropbox of Google?
Drive?
Drive, Google Drive.
hmm
So I pay Google Drive and I get all the stuff that Google Drive gives you,
hmm
like Google Meet you get.
Oh, do you not, is that not free?
Google Meet is free, but I think it's limited to 40 minutes for a meeting.
Wow. Okay.
It's limited, and
I mean, Zoom also cuts you off after 40
yeah,
minutes.
unless you pay them.
Right. Oh, that's what
So
that is.
basically, I don't have a list yet, but I think Extremity is gonna be the first time
Yeah,
that we.
I think it's the first time too. We're gonna switch over to
Okay.
your desk cam.
So Extremity is a book by Daniel Warren Johnson, and I think it's the first thing I read from him, and I think it's my favorite thing he has ever done. Mike Spicer is the colorist that works with him for I think all the projects. You can see the style he developed is very distinct. I really like the way he draw faces and all the details, and the lines are pretty thick everywhere.
Yeah.
So it makes it more strong, like the image looks more strong. And it's interesting to see it like this in black and white. I think it looks.
Red and white?
Yeah, but he draws in like black ink. I
Yeah.
think it's just
But it's
like a
cool that it's in
Photoshop.
red though. I like that.
Yeah,
You don't see that
but
often.
I think the interesting thing about his artwork is the lines are very thick almost everywhere.
Right.
So he doesn't use very thin lines. And to differentiate the figure from the background, he does even more The lines are even thicker on the
Yeah.
outline.
It almost looks like a sticker.
Because look here, for example, it's also very thick and it's a background, so he needs to make the figure pop.
Yeah.
And I think he works mainly with a brush, but he uses all kinds of tools.
Mm-hmm.
He also has a YouTube channel, so you can see how he works. Yeah, this is very cool, the face here.
Happy Monday, Jillian. Good to see you as well. Hope you had a nice weekend, everyone watching.
A lot of blacks, by the way, also. It also makes it more, like, it looks strong. And the action is, he does action, I think he's the best. Look at this.
Yeah, I'm really getting a sense of motion.
A lot of stuff
I think
happening.
it's the long lines there on the top around the glow are really giving it a sense of...
Yeah, and also the lettering is done on the page itself.
Yeah, I like that. Definitely brush is used, but I don't know if he uses solely a brush.
No, he uses all kinds of
Right,
tools.
yeah,
I've seen him draw with a parallel pen, ballpoint pen, everything.
I really like the color selection, but I think that sometimes the gradients are too smooth. So this on the previous page,
here.
no, that's okay. Yeah, maybe there, but on the previous page, there was the face with the green, like he has a green monocle or something. I think it's a monocle. What is that?
I think it's
like a screen or
no, it's like a tattoo or
yeah. So around, you see how like the gradient,
here.
yeah, it's too smooth. It takes you out of it. Sort of feels digital.
The colorist Mike Spicer, I
Yeah.
think he improved over time.
Oh, some pages are perfect. Don't get me wrong. It's just that when the gradients are too smooth, it sort of gives you a digital vibe.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I also prefer the
solid colors,
black and white, and yeah, flat coloring.
Yeah, Mobius style, flat colors, color coordinated, muted.
Yeah, the colors here
are good. I like the colors themselves.
Okay,
yeah,
but
yeah.
they're more actual colors. It's
Right.
not like
yeah.
It's not colored like Mobius.
Right. Mobius doesn't really use red as red or blue as blue. He uses
like a feeling of the
halftones and desaturated colors a lot. And
but it's interesting that all the lines are very thick, even in the small details. So this is probably the thinnest line here.
Right.
And it's not that thin. And here, you can see here, for example.
It's in the background, but it has really thick.
Yeah. So because it's very thick, when he has a character that is like in the front, the lines are even thicker than usual.
James says Mike does the colors for Jim at Food as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the colors themselves are good. I like the selection. Sometimes I would go with the flat color and not the gradient, but they don't really use it that often, so it doesn't really detract from.
Yeah, and also he uses some like here, some
splotchiness.
texture.
Yeah. I prefer texture, yeah, for sure. Jillian says, would you do a workshop about coloring? Could be cool. I think you would if there were enough people. So last time we didn't really advertise it that much, which worked out well because both of you had sort of almost one-on-one time. There was a lot of spotlight on each person. You could ask questions whenever you wanted because you were just two people, which is great. Next time, I'm thinking if we do a coloring or if you do anything else, it would be for 5 people and up.
Yeah.
So between 5 and 10 people. I think 10 is too much, so I'll say 5 to 8.
Yeah. Probably
would be good. So definitely, we could start advertising and set a further date than we did last time, so that people have time to sign up.
Yeah.
This time it was just really quick. The decision was made. You guys asked for it, and we we did it right away. Yeah, so we look out for any kind of news on the Instagram or YouTube about a coloring workshop or a different workshop that Nir is going to be doing next time.
Do you want to acknowledge the amount of new followers we have?
Sure. So yeah, this is sort of like channel news, news about the YouTube channel, that is.
This is very cool.
So we started off, I think a week and a half ago, there were 3,000 subscribers to the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And now I believe it has passed
17, I think.
15,
No,
17. Is it
17K.
17,000? So we don't really know what happened because nothing in particular. It wasn't that any specific item went viral. There was no short that had hundreds of thousands of views on it or a specific video or anything. But if I take a look at the channel now, there are over 17,000 subscribers, and that happened in a week and a half, which is amazing. And I hope some of the new subscribers are watching us now or later on.
Really cool.
Definitely, if you're new to the channel and watching this later, or you're with us now, we do a live stream every Monday at 6:30 p.m. EST, which is what you are watching now. It's moderated. You can definitely chime in the comments. We love to hear from you. Ask any questions you might have for Nir, and I'll funnel them towards you as you work as well.
Look at this.
Yeah,
is
that's
crazy.
wow, that's amazing. Look at that.
This is probably...
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's probably at least 3 days of work.
Jillian says, do you color with markers or watercolors or digital? All of the above.
All of the above.
Markers make less of an appearance, but definitely
I use markers a little bit.
A little bit.
Mostly when I color traditionally, I use watercolors. But most of my pages, I color digitally.
Jillian says, you got to 17K because you're the badass channel on YouTube. Thank you, Jillian. I mean, we're trying to do a good job. We enjoy what we do, and I hope that sort of shows. Reviewing books is also very fun, and then Nir obviously loves his work, so that probably comes through too. And I think that's it's probably, it has to do with that.
I think also the music helped.
Right. So during the day, Nir does a silent live stream. Well, it was called silent up until recently because he wouldn't speak. There wouldn't be any music or anything. But recently, I think in the past, 2 or 3 weeks, you have programmed...
Since the channel began...
Yeah, you slapped together a couple of programs and add-ons through Ableton and
so cool.
A special LiDAR camera that tracks his hand movement as he's drawing. And that generates music based on previous sort of rules that you set out.
Yeah.
Right? So that's pretty cool. And I think that also is part of the reason why there are more subscribers. There's just something to, when you add audio to visuals, it just takes it to a level that is missing when it's silent completely. I think that really helped.
I really like the way he draws the weapons. It's like a cool design. It takes time to design this stuff.
Also the garments and gadgets, and not just the weapons, everything is done really well. The folds. The design of all the gear.
Lines. Yeah, it's a lot of design work.
A lot of design work. Everything is designed.
I really like this.
Yeah.
The feathers, and it's very scratchy and messy, but it reads as something very solid.
I think the color helps it read better because they're using a lot of opposing colors.
Yeah.
So blue and red, and they have like the green and pink purple, and just to help separate things and make them pop more off the page. And I think that's important when you have thicker lines the way that they do here. What do you like most about Jim F. Food's work? You mentioned that you like him.
I like the way he draws anatomy, which is very exaggerated and extreme.
Right.
And he's very expressive. So when you look at the Dima Food artwork, it looks very messy, even more than this.
It looks
It looks,
kinetic is the word.
yeah, kinetic, and also it looks like at a first glance, it looked like a mess, like a something that is very scratchy and messy. But I really like it because it gives a vibe of something that is like a little bit like
Edgier, maybe?
yeah,
Like
edgier,
punk.
punk. Yeah, punk.
Yeah.
That's exactly the word.
Yeah, he's the punk rocker of um comic book art
Yeah,
for sure.
and also his choices. He's done a lot of mm, like be like not official stories about Spider-Man and Batman.
Which is also kind of punk
Yeah, it's very punk.
because you're not really getting any
I like the colors here. I think
permission to go through with that. But he didn't. Has he sold stories that
yeah,
contain? Oh,
he doesn't call them Batman or Spider-Man. He
right,
calls them something else, but it's obviously that it's Batman or Spider-Man.
right.
It's like a parody about Spider-Man. This
Yeah.
is really cool. This page.
Oh yeah.
Very,
What are we even
very
looking?
strong. It's like a monster here, or kaiju, and
Right.
a mech
It's
here.
giving me upside down a little bit.
But yeah, somehow I really prefer it like this, without the coloring.
It's just more flexible. Your mind fills in the blanks, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you color something, you are handing over a finished, lit, shaded, colored image for the brain to just take in. But when you're looking at line art,
Mm-hmm.
you have more freedom. Your brain is like free from the shading and the color.
Yeah.
And it allows you to sort of imagine it, I guess, and maybe even subconsciously in different color schemes.
It's more
It's
clean.
initial. It's more like, yeah, it's more what's the word? I'm like raw, I
Clean.
guess. Yeah, clean, raw.
So yeah, very cool artwork.
Hmm.
I like the fact that he knows where to put more attention to stuff and where to be more scratchy and loose.
Right.
Like the faces are, it looks like the faces are more, he gives more time to draw them,
Yeah.
takes more time to draw them. You can see here, for
Also, there's a
example.
good spread of detail and empty space in each page.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
It's not all trying to, your eyes aren't getting scattered in all these different directions. It seems like they're very good at leading the eye.
That's so cool. The mask.
Yeah.
So the design also, design-wise, it's a very cool image.
Yeah, that's the color too is good.
Yeah,
Oh, is that a half of a
yeah,
head?
it's happy.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Wait.
And that's the Akira
Oh,
reference.
nice. Very cool.
Very cool design.
Yes, very nice, boxy, rectangular. Mm-hmm.
And also the way it looks weathered,
Right.
but only with small little lines.
Yeah.
And that's it. Oh, here you can see the original. You can see that the lines are almost the same thickness everywhere,
Yeah. Yeah.
more or less. Oh, in here as well. A lot of blacks. That's very, very nice. Okay. So Daniel also has a YouTube channel. I think his live show is every Friday. And it's cool because you can see his process and how he works. Especially inks, I think. I think he does the sketches traditionally, but he does the layouts digitally. I'm not sure though. I think so.
Yeah, Jillian just asked, was it done traditionally? So that's what you answered.
So the inks are traditional
Mm-hmm.
because he sells the originals. But the sketches, I'm not sure about the sketches. I think probably some of them are. I think he does the layouts digital and then he prints them and then he does the sketches traditional. But
So
I'm not
the way
sure.
that you do it.
I think so. The inks are traditional for sure. I'm just not sure about the sketches, if they are.
So what's going on this page?
So this page is from Helix Sky. I just got back to working on it. And I actually, today I started a new project, short. I think I can talk about it because nobody told me not to talk about it. So so I did a short with Rich Douek called Black Eye.
Mm-hmm.
And it was published on Kyle Higgins' newsletter on Substack.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna continue working on it. So I did some layouts today, and I'm gonna start work on the sketches, I think tomorrow. So maybe in the next stream I can do maybe a page from that in the live stream. And I also got so my graphic novel Age of Canaan. I signed it with a publisher called Gungnir,
Yeah.
and they wanted to change the lettering of the book because they said that the lettering I used, so the lettering in the book is all the lettering in my books are designed by me. So I do the fonts based on my handwriting. And this specific font is a bit controversial. So some people told me that it's a bit hard to read. And some people told me that they really liked it. So I'm not sure what's the actual correct answer for that. But it was based on the idea was to take some inspiration from cuneiforms
Yeah.
writing, which
Mm-hmm.
is very angular and very rigid. So I designed like a font that is in English, but it looks a little bit like cuneiform, which was the language that they found the original text written in.
Yeah.
It's
It's my job to make crunching noises, slurping noises, pop can opening noises. So I'm just doing my job,
okay.
basically. But yeah, cuneiform.
Cuneiform design font that I designed myself. So I know but some people found it a bit hard to read. So I agreed with them. So today I got the first pass of the lettering, and I think it looks very nice. So the letterer also, she found a font that gives the same vibe, more or less, I guess, but it's much more easy to read, more readable.
Yeah.
And so I went over the file and gave some notes, but basically in a few, I hope that in a few months we'll be able to send it to the printer finally. And the other good news about it is they're gonna do a treasury edition, which is a oversized, like very big print version of the book, and it's gonna be hardcover as well.
Ooh, that's
So
cool.
yeah, so it's gonna be, the quality is gonna be better than the one that was printed by Zoop. When I started working with Zoop, I knew that the quality is not going to be the best. So the quality of the printing is okay. It's nice. It looks great, but it's not. The size is pretty small. It's like regular comic book size, which I think it's a bit small for my art. And also it's a floppy, so the cover it's a soft cover.
Jillian asks, what kind of notes do publishers usually give other than lettering?
Hmm. Um, it really depends on what's the deal that you have with them. So for Bioripple, for example, when I worked with heavy metal, I I signed the project, I sent them the pitch, and I signed the project when I think I only had probably something like 10 or 15 pages ready.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't really work with an editor that helps you develop the story itself. So it depends. Some of the publishers do have editors, and they did have an editor, but it was more proof editing. So nobody gave me any notes about the story itself.
Mm-hmm.
So the only edits I got were proofreading edits.
Right.
So it's mostly like you have a
Grammar.
typo,
Yeah.
grammar, yeah, stuff like that.
Right.
For Razor Gray, the book that is gonna be published soon, they
Panic.
they had a they have an editor, so I
Mm.
got, except of the proofreading edits,
Right.
I also got notes that are more about readability. If things are clear enough. I even got some notes, like, for example, that some of the characters in a few scenes look a little bit too similar to each
Right.
other.
Yeah.
And I got some notes that say the text is not, it's hard to understand what's happening or where the scene is happening. So
Right.
maybe if we need to add some captions or change the text to make it more readable, understandable. And yeah, but it was mostly about stuff like that and not about the story itself. Because again, it depends on what you're signing. So
Right.
these are basically smaller publishers, but I know that if you work with bigger publishers,
They can ask for
and
changes that are more.
it also depends if you work on um, other people's stories, like if it's owned but by somebody
Oh,
else,
of
if it's like
course. Yeah.
if it's Hasbro, for example, or DC or Marvel. So editors are gonna give you more notes about the story.
Yeah, and also probably about the way the characters are depicted.
Yeah, about art,
Potentially.
about design, about
Like each character
everything.
has do's and don'ts to it. There's like a character sheet.
Yeah, but the smaller publisher and Image is like that. So they don't really give you any notes about the story, but they can give you notes about readability, and if they try to figure out what you wanna say and get inside your head,
Mm-hmm.
and just give you notes that are made to make the story read as if it was it's more like the way you planned it.
Right. The intended beta.
Yeah. Um, but I don't have any experience with the big publishers like Marvel and DC, but they do give, like, if you write for them, they do give you notes that are more about the story itself, about the continuity and stuff like that.
Right. Well, it mostly sounds like things that notes that I've given you before. Um, yeah, that characters look a bit too similar, or it's not entirely
Yeah.
understandable where the scene is placed, where we are, or
Mm-hmm.
yeah, maybe like moving word bubbles sometimes a little bit so that flows better.
Yeah. Yeah, it's mostly stuff like that.
Sometimes when we received colored pages, on the rare occasion that you have other people coloring your work,
Yeah.
also we've given notes on that.
Yeah.
For this, for instance, there's a who's the color that's really good that colored Age of Canaan?
Near Levie.
No, the wait,
Age of Canaan,
not Age of
I
Canaan. I
colored.
was thinking of Razor Gray and I said Age of Canaan. I don't know
Okay.
why.
It's Lee
Lee
Lowridge.
Lowridge, yeah. So he's really good.
Yeah.
There were a few pages that we received that I had my notes that were this page just looks like it's one color, different tones of the same color, remember?
Yeah.
It was like all blue. And I understood what the reasoning was behind it. It was because it was sort of giving this icy impression, low light.
Yeah.
But also, if you zoom out of that, like take yourself out of the context, I think the page as a page just felt too flat to me. The characters were blending into the background too much, and that was a note that we gave, and then he changed that,
Yeah.
which is, yeah, just,
I find it that I really like getting notes
hmm,
from the publisher, but they are it's you need to tell them that you're okay with notes, because mostly the publishers that I worked with, I don't know if it's everybody is like that.
they're scared of rocking the boat.
They're pretty scared of, especially because it's people who they don't know how to draw themselves. So most of the time they don't give you notes about the art itself
Hmm.
because they're a bit afraid, I think.
I don't know
So I
if
had
it's
to tell
being
them.
scared more than it is, I'd say, just cautious. Like they're more.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like they don't want to give you notes because they are afraid of your response. They're afraid of people
Yeah.
who are not good
Which you're not
with
like that at
notes.
all. You'd rather
I prefer.
receive. Yeah, you'd rather
I tell them
receive notes.
all the time. I tell them, give me as much as you want, as
Right.
much
Yeah.
as you think, and I'll let me choose if I wanna
Take it on or
take.
not.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's the same way with me. When I give you notes, I think you mostly take them and change the things that I say because I
yeah,
don't really just like throw out random stuff. I only make the notes that I think are crucial.
yeah.
But sometimes you decide not to change it, and it's your prerogative. It's your decision. Jillian says, is Dark Horse considered a big publisher?
Dark
Well,
Horse.
yeah.
When I say big publishers, I mean, yeah, I think Dark Horse is one of the
Yeah,
big,
definitely Dark Horse. Yeah.
and I mean, like, so there's the big two, which is Marvel and DC, which are the biggest ones.
Right.
The manga publishers, there are some of them are becoming almost as big as the big two. But yeah, if I talk about indie publishers, the biggest are Dark
Image, Dark
Horse,
Horse.
Image,
Yeah.
IDW,
Yeah.
um, Boom.
Boom Studios. Yeah.
Who else? I'm forgetting a lot.
Hopefully Gungnir soon.
Yeah, actually, they're doing some very cool stuff.
Yeah.
I think they started a animation studio.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Interesting. Where are they based out of again? The US, right?
yeah. So it's Matt Madney. He's from LA, and Steve Orlando. He's a he's a writer. He works with basically everybody, like Marvel, DC, all the publishers. And I think he's in New York or New York area. But yeah, they're in the West Coast.
We have another question. What's the difference between indie publishers and the big two in terms of working with them?
Yeah, so it's something else completely. So you can some of the indie publishers also do work for hire. It's mostly about the contract that you have with them. So there are two types of contracts, basically. I think more than two, but the basic ones are you can either work on a project, which is called work for hire, and get money, get paid for the project. So, for example, if I do a short story for humanoids for Metal Hurlan,
Hmm.
they pay
Per page
like
or whatever
yeah
it
a
is, like a
specific
flat rate.
a flat rate for per page.
Hmm.
So that's called work
Work
for
for
hire.
hire. Yeah.
And there's creator owned. So work for hire is everything Marvel DC because you don't own except of the only difference is um, Vertigo.
Right.
Vertigo is owned by DC, and I think it's all creator owned projects.
Mm-hmm.
But most of DC and Marvel projects are work for hire, which means you get a flat rate for a page.
Mm-hmm.
If you write for them, you also get a flat rate for a page for writing.
Right.
And it's like that for the anthologies. And if you're a colorist, so some of the projects will pay you in advance, like a work for hire.
Right.
So the indie publishers also do that because some of the projects they don't really want to give the ownership to every single person that works on the project. So they get paid for for example, the letterer in indie publishers. They pay them. They don't get. They don't get the letterer that works on Age of Canaan now. She gets like payment for the job itself. She doesn't get royalties for sales. So that's the other type of contract, which is creator owned. And there are many types of different variations on that. But it's basically you get the publisher is doing the printing and the fulfillment of the project, and you do the project itself. And they don't pay you. Sometimes they do pay advance, but then the payment is taken out of the payment that you get from royalties, and you get paid by the amount of sales of the book.
Jamie says, Boom Studios, Image Comics, and Distillery are my favorite companies, like Dynamite for Thundercats. We have a question from Jillian again. What are common rate ranges per page for beginners or experienced? I mean,
yeah,
it really depends on
it really depends, but I
on
think
the company and the person in question.
if it's less than $50 per page,
no,
it's insulting.
I don't think that exists.
I think that exists. I think people also want to persuade artists to work for no payment at all.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's a good idea unless it's like something that is really high exposure. But yeah, I think it's like less than $50 is nothing. It actually depends on the way if you do a page in a few minutes, then probably $50 works. But I don't know if anybody can do that.
No.
So up to even $500 per page, and even more than that. But the medium-sized companies, they pay around $200 to $300
per page. That's an average sort of price range.
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a like high average.
Probably. Yeah.
And the sad thing is that the prices are almost the same as they were in the 90s.
Wow.
Because in the 90s, people got a lot of money for comics.
Right.
And now people don't get a lot of money
If
for
it's
comics.
If it's almost the same, that means that people are being paid less because of inflation and the value of the dollar at the moment.
Yeah, for sure.
It might be the same number, but that number was supposed to go up as well.
It was supposed to go up, but it didn't go up because all kind of reasons.
But in the meantime, everything else went up, right? So food, housing, school.
Yeah, because the companies like Marvel and DC, they can work with anybody. So they can work with people that live in the Philippines or
India.
Do
they do that?
They do that a lot, yeah. Of course.
The big two?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Like there's a lot of artists from South America and everywhere.
This is a good question that I don't really know the answer to. Because you haven't done work for the big two so far, I think.
Yeah.
Not directly, at least. If you work as an inker, traditionally, do you need to send them your original as part of your delivery, or do you
No,
just scan it? I think you
no,
just scan it, right?
you just can't scan
And
it.
are you allowed to sell the original
You're
then?
allowed to sell.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
I remember, so Marvel and DC, they don't really, you don't get it written in a contract that you can sell the
but they
originals
overlook it, I
unless,
guess.
yeah,
Like
they basically they overlook it.
in the
And it's the
same
same thing
way,
that if I get like a commission of Batman, it's illegal to do it. Like you're not supposed
yeah, but
to
two
make.
things. First of all, there's no way to police that because it's
It's easy to police that because
it's not
people,
easy to police that. Think about how many people.
they go to conventions, they see
Yeah, but
artists, they
then I
see.
mean, and the second thing is if I were DC and people were making fan art or selling
Yeah,
their own
yeah, it's
art of
good for
Batman,
them.
it's
It's good.
publicity for
Yeah,
Batman or whatever it is that I'm putting out, right?
yeah. Of
It's
course, it's good for them.
you
But
what you wanted as a company is for people to be obsessed with your characters' stories, and I don't really think they can if they're not allowed to celebrate it by creating original
yeah,
art in the same vein
yeah.
and inspired by the characters in the story. So it's it's good for them. I think that
Of
happens.
course, it's good for them.
Yeah,
But I remember. Do you remember the time that NFTs were a thing?
yeah,
So Marvel, I think it was Marvel or DC. I'm not sure. One of the companies said that they don't allow because NFTs started selling like crazy amounts of money.
right,
So they got confused because they saw the prices that people pay for art, and
right,
they decided that it's not legal to do NFTs with their characters
right.
because I think they wanted to sell them themselves.
Yeah. By the
And
time they got
the
around
artists,
to doing it, it all died down, right?
yeah, artists said that it's basically like selling originals, and they've done it all the time.
So, Jillian, you don't own the rights for the original if you create it for scanning and sending it into, let's say, the big two companies, but they also don't really police you selling the original is what I'm hearing from you, Near.
Yeah, it's not that
So you don't own,
they
yeah,
know that
they know
people
it
sell,
happens and they
and
just
it's okay. They're okay with
turn a
it.
blind eye towards it. They accept it
They accept it.
passively.
Yeah,
Yeah,
people make a lot of money from that.
right. I mean, every single, let's say 75% or 80% even of vendors that are in Artist Alley usually have characters that they do not own the rights to in their art that they're selling.
No, yeah, but I mean, like the artists that work on Batman, for example, they can sell the art, the originals from
We
the.
went over that. I'm
Yeah,
just saying that what would all these people be doing in Artist Alley if not, you know,
yeah,
doing their own version of Batman and Spider-Man in their styles and so. Jamie says, I see a lot of people who worked for big companies are doing create your own work, like what Matteo Scalera has just done on Kickstarter.
yeah,
Yeah, I think working for the big two is good to get your name known. And
yeah,
then what happens is people gravitate towards passion projects because they want to spend their time and their talent on things that they created themselves. Not just for the mere fact that they created it, but it's what interests them. So if I write a story, I'm not going to be writing about, let's say, true crime, which I don't care about personally, or I won't write about serial killers because I don't care about that either. It doesn't interest me. I'd write about something that I'm interested in. I draw things that I'm interested in as well. So I think it's good for getting your name out there and getting known, and then you're more likely to be published if you create your own work or publish it yourself.
yeah. But
And
I think in recent years something changed about this thing that you just talked about, because the big two are starting to be more indie, And
Right.
I'll try to explain what I mean by
Yeah,
that.
they're trying to
So
be
yeah, I think they're
trendier.
doing a great job. I think it's only DC. I haven't seen
Yeah.
it. Maybe Marvel
Marvel
did
did it
it.
with Superman, right? With like the
Superman is DC.
I meant not Superman, I meant Spider-Man. Like the what's it called? The Spider-Verse?
Oh, you're talking about the movies. I'm talking
Yeah.
about comics.
Yeah.
It's basically a different company. It's not
Yeah.
the same people. I mean, like for like the Absolute Universe, for example,
Hmm.
they're starting to be influenced by manga,
Yeah.
and
And
they
anime
see all the
and
good
yeah.
things that are happening in manga, and they see all the crazy amount of fans
Hmm.
that it has, and they want that as
Right.
well.
Yeah.
So you see that in the and actually the Absolute Universe, one of the books there that I read, the Absolute Martian Manhunter, I think it competes with the indie stuff, and I think it's better than a lot of the indie books that Image does. So what the outcome of that is that creators like Nick Dragotta, for example, the guy that draws Absolute Batman, he became very so he was pretty known, but he wasn't really like famous or anything. But after the Absolute Batman project, he became really famous, and it's almost like a creator owned book, because it's drawn in a different way than the all the other stuff, which is interesting. I like it, but the thing is that he can show his originality with the Big Two project. He doesn't need to imitate other mainstream artists,
Right.
and I think that's the interesting thing about the Absolute Universe. It's not the main universe, so they can do things that are different. But it was like that in the 1990s and early 2000, they had Vertigo,
Right.
which is the creator-owned.
Vertigo, does it not still exist?
Yeah, it they I think they stopped using the imprint a few years ago, and just recently they announced that it's back.
Hmm.
But I'm not sure how much if it's really creator owned projects. I don't really know. Yeah, but Vertigo had a lot of interesting interesting comics in the past. Or is it? Is it now?
It's now too, yeah.
Are we now?
We are now. It's is today Victoria Day?
Yes.
I don't know if the U I don't think the US has it, but
No, probably not.
so is it just the UK and Canada or just Canada? Yeah, Canadian federal statutory holiday. I guess just Canada?
In the UK, probably, no?
I don't, it just says Canadian.
Okay.
No, it's not celebrated in England. It's a uniquely Canadian holiday. And it's celebrated in some parts of Scotland, but it's not a statutory holiday in the UK or Scotland or anywhere.
I think it's just people are looking for a reason to take a vacation.
I mean, they don't really need to find a reason because sometimes it's a long weekend and that's it. They don't even come up with a reason. It's just long weekend.
Yeah, but I think they prefer when it has like a reasoning behind it and not just a long weekend.
Yeah.
So they say this is whatever day and this is whatever day. So you have a day off.
Basically, so today now is a long weekend basically because of Victoria Day.
Yeah,
So Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday was off too, and it became a long weekend. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, sometimes there's a long weekend without any kind of like reason, or am I just not aware of the reason sometimes? Like Good Friday and Easter.
probably there's a reason for
Do you
each
have
one
any
of them.
tips to anyone who for the first time has a booth in Artist's Alley at a convention? Jillian, are you going to be tabling at a convention? Let us know if you are and what convention it is, and if we're there, we'll drop in to say hi. Do you have any tips?
Yeah,
Bring battery packs
we
is a
have
very
we
important
have a
one.
we have a lot of tips.
Yeah.
I think we have a lot of tips.
I would also,
You need to be very mindful about stuff's weight,
yeah,
about things that you buy at the convention and things that you bring there, because if you're getting there with a flight, which is probably most of the time
right.
when you do conventions, unless it's where you
No, I
live.
think a lot of people drive from convention to convention.
Yeah, if you drive, then it's probably easier with weights of stuff. But yeah, if you're on a plane, it's you need to be very to think about everything that you bring there because planes don't like heavy stuff.
Yeah, definitely. What else? Be well rested before the convention starts because you're gonna be expending a lot of energy just simply being there and talking with people. It's tiring.
Yeah, especially if you have the young people call it social battery now.
Yeah,
If you have a low social battery, then it's very
I
hard.
think even if you have a big social battery, it's hard. It's very draining
Yeah, yeah.
mentally. Um, have someone there to help you, I would say too, is a big one.
I've
Cause
done a lot of conventions without help,
no,
and
not that type of convention.
it was yeah, it was
No, I don't
mostly
think you
the
ever did that, like a big convention
yeah,
without
I
help.
did OAX and Como.
But OAX is not, you don't have tens of thousands of people. You know what I mean?
OAX is less people, but it was more
More
work.
work. Yeah, for sure, because you're doing commissions all day long.
it was more interactions with people
Mm-hmm.
more than the other shows.
Mm.
But I had help with so I wasn't alone. I couldn't do it if I was alone there.
If you
Yeah,
can have someone to help you, is what I'm saying, because
yeah.
yeah, sometimes you need to step away from the table. You want to go to the bathroom. You need someone to write something down. People are talking to you and waiting to talk to you, and then you have someone else to sort of like step in and chat with them a little bit before you want to film something. You want to, there's so many reasons to
Oh,
have
that's
help.
another thing.
Yeah,
Uh, try to film as much as you can
yeah.
because you're gonna need it afterwards.
I would say, yeah, on that note, don't rely on your phone as your primary camera when filming. I would have a device, or at least at least one device other
Well,
than the phone.
it actually depends if you have if you want to show it afterwards. If you don't want to show it, then you don't need
I
to take
mean,
any photos.
it would be, I think it's cool to sort of look back and watch videos of your first experience tabling at a convention,
Yeah,
even if you're not going to be sharing it with other people afterwards, just for yourself.
yeah.
Definitely, I would get, if you can, if you have, or if you can borrow like a GoPro or any kind of standalone camera.
And bring a lot of portable
Yeah,
batteries.
battery packs are really important because conventions don't supply, contrary to what is thought, conventions don't supply the vendors with
Nothing.
electricity unless you're one of the bigger spots and you need it in order to operate, and then you pay them extra for the outlet and the electricity that you use.
Yeah.
So all of the artists at Artist Alley, I think almost all of them do not use
Yeah, you mostly
electricity.
you get a table and
Yeah,
you
and
get a
that's it.
chair or two
A chair,
chairs,
two
probably
chairs,
a chair.
and that's where it ends.
Yeah.
There's literally nothing else. No power outlet, no lamps, obviously, nothing. If you want to hang your art or have a banner up, you have to bring all of that equipment yourself as well. So people who do table already know these things, but if it's your first time, yeah, you don't receive any kind of devices or places to hang your banners or
Make
whatever.
sure you have a way to charge money
Right,
that is not just cash.
because most people pay
Don't have
either
cash
either
now.
tap by phone or use cards. So yeah, have a way to charge. Check that it works before the convention starts and it's in order. And then,
There's a way to organize the table itself,
hmm,
which is it's supposed to be suitable for whatever you do, whatever you sell.
right,
So people that sell a lot of small stuff like um, pins and
yeah,
stickers and
yeah,
stuff like that, they have like a completely different setup than what we do.
yeah,
It's something else, and I think it's a different audience as well. Goes to their booth.
mm-hmm.
So making money in convention and only I think it works if you tailor your table to the thing that you want to sell.
And also I think it mostly works if I don't know about Artist Alley, but let's say people that sell pins and lanyards and small things like that. The tables that have a lot of variety of small cheap things, I think they're amongst the best selling vendors at the event. Because
They
you don't
sell
really give much
yeah,
thought to spending
they
two,
sell the
three, four,
most
$5.
yeah, I think they sell the most amount of stuff,
Yeah,
but
but not the highest
not the
earning.
highest
Yeah.
earning because it's all like small stuff. It's
Mm-hmm.
like $5 items. Yeah, and they do sell a lot, but I thought about it afterwards when we saw that actually I probably sold more in terms of like monetary summary, like altogether.
Than tables that sell
Then
pins.
yeah,
Well, yeah, I mean, most of those places don't typically just sell one type of item. They
yeah,
would
but
have tote bags, pins, lanyards, card holders, a bunch of different merch.
I think the um most of the people who go to conventions, they probably buy the small stuff the most, right? Like the small posters, maybe pins,
I see a lot of people buying
buttons.
prints
Yeah,
always
but
at
also
conventions.
prints are it's the cheaper type of prints.
Yeah,
Almost nobody buys the high quality
expensive,
ones.
of course.
We had a we've done
We did,
prints like
yeah, G clay
Giclée
prints
prints,
of
very high quality.
super high quality limited run for I think it was like 5 different pieces.
Yeah, and I
And
think
I
we
think we
sold.
ever sold less than maybe 5
Yeah,
altogether.
yeah,
Or no, maybe slightly more, but less than 10, let's say.
yeah,
Because it was $60 if I'm not mistaken, and just or 50 or $60, and people are not buying prints for 50, $60. They're just not. They would rather the quality be lower and pay much less.
yeah.
Um, or if they're looking for originals, then they're not going to go the print route anyway.
Yeah, but I never met a guy that buys original and also buys prints.
I mean,
Actually, I did.
I would, though. Why not? They're two different things. It's like buying
No, because I just remembered that I got I some of the commissions I get are including colors.
it's like
They
buying
get
a cotton t-shirt and a dry fit sports shirt.
Yeah, but
Just two
most of them.
different things.
So I also colored some of the posters, the Giclée posters, were some of them were of commissions that I've done, and I think the guy that bought the commission itself, he didn't even buy the print
The print
of the
of the
commission
commission, yeah.
that he has.
Which commission is it? What that you're
I
talking
think it
about?
was I'm not sure. I think it was the Batman and Catwoman, I think.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. The extreme one where the leg is like
Yeah.
towards the viewer.
Yeah, but so yeah, conventions are so there's a lot of things that you need to know, but I think another important thing is the setup of the table itself, because you need to think a little bit like people. What's the name of the occupation that people do when they study the way that people buy stuff and change the
Oh,
layout of supermarket
yeah, I don't,
stores for that?
does it have a name? I guess I'd know it if I,
Yeah, so you need to think like that. Like things need to be very clear, and for people to understand the prices, you need to put the prices everywhere, not just once in a single location.
I guess it's called a merchandiser,
Yeah, okay.
which I've never heard that name for a profession before,
Isn't
but
it called something engineering, social
no,
engineering,
so
or
no, social engineering, what is that? Like where people sit or something? Isn't that what? It's a psychological manipulation technique used to trick individuals into divulging sensitive information or
okay.
performing actions that compromise their security.
So,
Often called
sounds evil.
human hacking. Definitely. So, phishing is a form of social engineering. Smishing and vishing.
What's smishing?
Smishing is SMS phishing, and vishing is voice call phishing.
Okay,
Baiting, pretexting.
never heard that
Yeah.
before.
So that I guess yeah,
Yeah, but you need to think a little bit like somebody
you're basically
that
hacking humans.
yeah. I'm not sure if you're hacking humans. You just need to think like people who go to the convention think, and what catches their eyes, because they see a lot of stuff and there's a lot of things happening everywhere, and they need to stop by your booth and be persuaded somehow to buy your stuff if
Yeah.
they don't know you in advance. So I think for me, I think my
It's not that
the
your goal
audience
is
is,
selling things.
yeah, it's not just selling stuff for me. And I think that the people that do buy stuff for me, they already know me in
Yeah.
advance.
Hmm. Yeah, Jillian says, what if your main goal is not necessarily to sell things, but more to present your art and yourself as an
Yeah,
artist for any potential opportunities and collaborations, clients, publishers, and such?
that should
So
actually
I
be
think
your
that should be your
goal,
main
really.
goal,
Yeah,
actually. And then along those lines, I would obviously have high quality prints of your work for people's perusal at their leisure on your table.
and also originals if
Originals,
you do
also you
original.
can, there are folders where you just put it into little envelopes of transparent plastic. So binders, folders, have your work there and easily accessible. And you also have to make it obvious that people are allowed to look through it, because you wouldn't imagine the amount of times people have asked, can I look at this?
Yeah, every time.
It just, you have to make it either put up a sign, please look through me, or whatever it is,
And they still ask
and they'll still
if you're
ask, but
put a
make it
sign.
obvious, have it be the first thing people see when they arrive at your table and or your stall, and just be easily accessible. Um,
But I think it depends on what's your goal. So
well, yeah,
if
I
your
mean, but
goal,
if you wanted to get known as an artist, you need your art to be on the table,
yeah, for sure.
and it
But
should be inviting. It should
but
allow people to thumb
there's a
through it.
difference if you want to be an artist that do commercial illustration as opposed to an artist that does comics.
Why? What's the difference?
You need, if you want comics work, you need to have sequential work, and you need to show that you do comics. So it's
But wouldn't you put that in a folder on your desk as
yeah,
well?
yeah, yeah, of course. But I mean, like the
Oh,
things that
so
you
I
choose,
understand, right? So the
what you
things that
choose to
you are
show.
showing, they should be tailored for the kind of work that you're trying to attract,
Yeah,
obviously. But I'm just, we're restating it because sometimes it's not obvious. Yeah, what you show the things that you would like to work on more.
you'll be surprised by how many people don't actually do that,
Mm,
even though it sounds very obvious.
mm,
Like, because people in comics, for example, people want to show their best work,
yeah.
and in most cases, their best work will be a splash page or a cover and not an interior.
Hmm.
And editors that walk around Artist Alley, they probably, if they're gonna hire you for comic work, they're looking for interiors for sure.
Yeah.
But I think it's not as easy as it was some time ago to get work from doing conventions. But for sure it helps. Like, it feels as if it's nothing, but it does. You meet people, you see, you get to know your peers, and sometimes you get to know people that in the future are gonna give you work, but they don't, like, now they're still at the same stage as you are in, but they might be like in an important position in the future. So it's also good to make like just friends, like peers. But yeah, conventions are good for that. It's also nice to be around people that do the same thing, right? Because most of us that do comics, we
Hmm.
don't really, we work alone.
Right. I just wish that conventions were, as a vendor, I wish they were 2 days and not 3 days.
Some of them are 2 days.
Yeah, the ones that are 3 days are just, I find them to be too much. As a vendor, obviously, like I know that some people
I think
attending,
TCAF is 2 days, I think.
is it? Yeah, so that makes more sense. 2 days is good, 3 days is too much.
Some of them are
But then the thing
4 days.
is, they make it 3 days or 4 days because
San Diego is 4 days.
yeah, people come on different days, right? So they just if you're already setting everything up,
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense to do San Diego or New York to limit that to 2 days. So I get
Yeah,
that.
because people like hop on a plane and they need to
Set everything
exit.
up and
Yeah,
yeah,
takes
spend
time.
spend money on travel as well
Yeah,
because a lot of artists obviously pay for their own traveling and hotels.
yeah. Unless the convention pays for you.
Sometimes that happens.
Yeah,
But then I think if they're doing that, then you probably could pay it yourself if you wanted to, or it would be easier for you to pay it yourself.
easier for them if you pay for yourself. But if
No,
they,
no, no. I mean, if you're that well known that a
yeah,
big convention is paying you to attend,
yeah,
you probably by that point don't need them to pay for you to attend, but it's nice to have
no,
that,
they. So I went to convention where they paid me to attend, but I
right?
still don't make
Right.
that.
No, but I'm saying did uh, San Diego or New York didn't pay you to attend? That's what I'm
No,
talking
no.
about.
New York never pays
Anyone. Right.
anyone. And San Diego, I think they only pay like a selected amount of specific people.
Hmm.
But some of the shows have like a limited budget for attendees. Yeah, but it only happens if you're already famous.
Super
If,
famous at the big
yeah.
shows.
At the big shows, yes.
Yeah.
But at the art shows,
No, art shows
I
is
don't think I'm
completely.
super
You're
famous,
not, but you're
but I
way
am
more
famous.
famous at the art shows than you are.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it makes sense.
Yeah.
Way more comic art collectors know about you than just people in the audience per capita, like if you normalize the numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the only audience that I am famous in.
Yeah.
It's also nice to go to a show and have some thoughts afterwards about things that you want to change or do differently. I remember after the first shows, I ordered so many things from Amazon, like to set up the table correctly and all kinds of gadgets that you need.
Yeah. Mm. What I'm trying to think of some things that it would be hard to go without. Um,
Without.
yeah, as a vendor or having a table at a convention. We said battery pack. What else? If you're going,
Tools to
yeah, if you're going
draw
to be
and
drawing there, then
paper,
anything that you need, right?
brushes, pens.
Hmm.
So whatever
Business
you sell,
cards or any kind of signage that has like QR codes for you.
yeah, you need things that if you sell stuff, you need things that are at any level.
Yeah.
So also free stuff. So
Hmm.
free can be business card. That's also things that people like collecting and taking.
Jamie asks if we can talk about building the right portfolio or talk about it in another stream. No, we will definitely talk about it in another stream because I don't think there's 10 minutes at this point left for today. And I think that deserves its own swath of time.
But we can start. and continue?
Yeah, we can start, but I think that deserves definitely like
What
more
was
than
the
10 minutes.
what was the question again?
Building the right portfolio.
Yeah, so it's of course it depends on the your goal. So the
Mm-hmm.
first thing is to figure out your goal. What do you want?
Mm-hmm.
It's not just if you want to do comics or if you want to do commercial illustration or if you want to work in a tech company. It's even like more specific than that. If you
Are
want
you
to
going to be drawing characters? Are you going to be doing coloring backgrounds? Are you going to be doing lettering? What are
do you want
you?
to work in a video game company? Do you
Mm-hmm.
want to work in with the comics publishers? If you want to do comics, do you want to do the creator owned stuff or do you want to work a work for hire?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first I think that's the first thing. And after that, you need to it comes back to the idea of the social engineering.
Mm-hmm.
You need to think like the editor that's going to hire you.
Yeah.
So you need to get inside their way of thinking and find out what they're looking for and see if you fit that. And if not, you can change your you don't need to actually change your style or unless you really want to work with a big two company
Mm-hmm.
like Marvel and DC where they have like more it's not like a house style but it's a style that is more distinct.
Yeah.
If you want to work with them, it's basically impossible to do that if you do indie stuff if your style
It
is
happens, but it's super rare. It happens like once a decade or
yeah
something.
it happens like Daniel Ward Johnson
Right.
had
Yeah.
some Marvel and DC
Yeah.
stuff.
Or Trad Moore also did like
Yeah,
Doctor Strange in his own style, but that's a very those are outliers. That's not the norm.
yeah,
And I think getting work from the big two companies, if you're looking for that avenue, is hard enough as it is. And it's like Nir said, it would be impossible to sort of try to do that in your own style for them. That doesn't really happen at
no.
all,
But if
almost.
you really want to work with them, you can. You just need to develop a style that is similar to the style of just look at the stuff that they're doing that and they're publishing and
Yeah.
try to do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna work. I
Yeah.
know we actually met people that got
Yeah.
work
Yeah. We
like
did.
that.
We did. Yeah.
So you really need to think like the person that's going to hire you,
Mm-hmm.
the way that he thinks. I know that in video games, for example, a lot of people are hired to do backgrounds.
Right. Environments, levels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they want to see that. If
Right.
they're going to hire you, they want to see that.
Or let's say concept art. If you know you want to work on concept art for video games, um, you it would be much more prudent to have that type of work shown in your portfolio and also edit it down. So it's better that I've made numerous show reels for animation work, which is relevant, and you want to edit it down. So it's better to have a shorter, stronger reel or like a thinner portfolio, we'll say, but of really, really good work
Yeah.
than it is to have a thick or long reel or thick portfolio with just mediocre work, because that it
Yeah.
it's sort of like watering down. That's what
Exactly.
happens.
If
And you
they
don't
want
want
to
it.
hire you,
Yeah,
they are convinced on the first or second image.
right.
So you don't need to show more
Jamie says,
than
I want to work in comics and I would like to work with Dynamite or a smaller company.
Dynamite are not really it's not a small
It's
company.
not a small company. Yeah. It's like
And
a medium size.
yeah. I talked once with one of their editors.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was supposed to do a. They had a license of mm, one of the video games.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? But it didn't happen eventually.
Which video game was it?
I think Little Horrors
Oh, yeah, yeah,
was the
yeah. It
name.
was. It was the PS2 game, right? Not Little Horrors. Little Horrors?
Yes,
Is that
I
the game
think
where
so.
you're a ball of yarn or something? No.
No, no, yeah, but so it's a British company, and
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I
Little
think it's the
Horrors.
biggest publisher in the UK, so it's not really small.
Mm-hmm.
And I think their style is tends to be a little bit more mainstream, but they do all kinds of stuff. But so the best advice is just to look at the stuff that they're doing there. So buy the comics that they do
Mm-hmm.
and try to learn from that. Look at the stuff that they already published and see if your style fits that, if it's interesting to you, if you want to do something similar to that. Not just the it's not just the style of the drawings, it's also the like the vibe of the stories.
Right.
And obviously it depends because they do, I think they also do license stuff. So if they do license stuff, they also hire writers, not just artists. And see if you find anything that is you relate to, and see if your own style fits to that.
I see a question a lot online on Reddit and similar places where people ask, how am I supposed to put a portfolio together if wanting to get into an entry level position when you haven't produced work for clients or for companies
Yeah,
before? And let's say you're self-taught and you don't have a portfolio from
yeah, you
school.
just need to shoot at all angles.
So what I usually say, and I've sort of like tutored interns as well and managed them, is you do what Nir says, which is narrow down your focus on what exactly it is that you want to do and what type of company it is that you'd like to work for, and then figure out what they output, and even just invent your own projects for yourself and work at them, especially for your just like specifically for your portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
So in the advertising world, it would be you haven't done a Coca-Cola commercial, just
Do a Coca-Cola
do it
commercial.
on your own for your portfolio. Um, make an illustration of a 2026 style in your style illustration for a big company, and then add that to your portfolio.
Yeah, but this doesn't solve the problem that they want to see that you actually worked for a publisher
Yeah,
before.
of
And it's
course.
true, they do want to
No,
see
that's
that.
fine. It is.
But
That's
yeah, it's a question that is
yeah.
it's impossible to answer that. But you
Right.
need to be persistent and
Mm-hmm.
like send a lot of cold emails to
Right.
people
Right.
and do it over and over again until at some point someone will answer.
My first job as an animator um, was I answered an ad in the paper. It was like a physical newspaper
Yeah.
asking for designers and people who sketch things in 3 dimensions well, I think it was. And it was a really, really small company. And they were looking for artists that wanted to learn how to use Lightwave, which is like a 3D software that I don't think is out there anymore. It once upon a time was one of the software that packages that people would use for modeling animation. Um, and then we I had an interview with them, and they really liked my personality and the projects that I invented for myself. I showed them my portfolio and I said, I don't have a lot of experience, but I'd like to get into this. And I think the click was, there was a good vibe between us. So they brought me on for, I think it was 3 months, paid obviously, but it was not much higher than minimum wage, just as sort of like a trial run to see if we work well together. And then they said, if it works well, we'll have you on full time at this rate, which was a good rate, and we agreed to that. And that's how I got my first gig. And then when you're done working on several projects, you already have a professional portfolio after your first job, right? So that's how it went for me
Yeah,
in
but
an adjacent field.
it's hard to get the first
Yeah,
first work.
yeah.
I think the first work you need to aim for the smaller publishers if you do
Hmm.
comics.
Yeah.
So I started with a very, very small publisher that is based in the UK
Yeah.
called Morcosia.
Right.
I think it's just one person.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I remember.
But after that, you have something
That's been
to
published.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've published, so it already sounds better than not having had anything published so far, right?
But I know that people today, even before that, and actually I did it myself as well. I just forgot. I had a project before that.
Right.
So the first project that you're gonna do is probably is gonna be a Kickstarter or something that is crowdsourced.
Yeah.
So you need to focus on the quality of the project at first,
Hmm.
because don't think that you'll find a publisher for it, because no publisher wants to work with people for the first time. It almost never happens.
I do think this subject deserves a more in-depth conversation,
Yeah, of course.
but it has been over an hour and a half now since we started.
Okay.
And this is the point where we stop and take a look at the inking done today on the live stream.
Yeah.
Sort of like zoom out maybe to see more of the page and turn the actual light on, turn the light table off. I love this part of the live stream where suddenly like the sketch fades and you see just the ink. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's a page that is more about character acting.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
it's
the
like,
faces and
yeah,
gestures.
it's more about acting, this
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
page.
It feels like you need to be a good actor in order
Yeah,
to,
I think you need. I don't think you need to be a good actor, but you need to understand emotions.
yeah, understand.
You don't need to do it yourself. I don't think I can do it myself.
Right.
I don't think I'll be a good actor.
Right.
But I think I can understand
You have a good
facial
reading of
expressions.
people's body language and facial expressions. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that people that some people that have uh, Asperger's or anything like that.
They have to study how to
Yeah,
read
they have
emotion.
it's
They have the
harder.
cues.
It's harder for them to make comics because they need to actually understand. It's hard for them to understand the facial expressions. So you obviously you need to understand that, but you don't need to actually know how to replicate it with your own face.
We also look forward to next week's stream. We'll see you then, Jamie. And we're gonna sign off for today. Um, yeah, it is Victoria's Day, and I want to head into the gym for the last hour of climbing.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go now, and we'll see you next week. Thank you for being with us today. Maybe we'll talk more about portfolios and setting things up for.
If we remember that,
Yeah,
for
if
sure.
not, just remind us, ask the questions, and we'll continue talking about it for sure.
Yeah. Thank you everybody for joining us. And